welcome to another video. Today we're doing a little OC doodle. I drew this picture of Kamau and I felt like coloring it. I drew it off screen. I always draw off screen. You guys know how it goes. I am terrible at drawing on camera. So I mostly just color on camera unless I'm doing some of my little doodles. But I was looking at one of the artists that I follow on Instagram. I cannot remember her name for the life of me just because it's so long. Her name is so long. It's like Mine, something like that. But I really like her sketchbook spreads, and she like fills up like the whole spread with like artwork and color and stuff. And I'm like, wow, I should try that. And so I'm going to be trying that with this sketchbook spread. I am planning on it to be all of my characters in this particular story at the beach. I'm not sure if all of them are going to fit just because this Kamau is already pretty big, taking up a lot of space, but he's supposed to be at the beach and he's drinking a beer because they're all of legal age. They're all like 24 25 years old, so they are allowed to drink beer, obviously. But yeah, so this is the first of the whole spread I'm planning on filling up. I thought about just doing the whole spread eventually when I finished it, and I'm like, I really don't want to push myself to like try and draw the whole spread for one video just because it's gonna take forever, if I'm being honest, just because it's at least 8 characters and it could potentially be more if I was going to be doing like every single character in the story. I'm not super worried about that at this point. For now, I'm just coloring and come out and I'll worry about the rest of it as it comes. I also kind of wanted this page to act as like a reference sheet for their colors just because I don't really color them too often, and I kind of want to get more into the habit of actually coloring these drawings in, just because I feel like whenever I do a full piece, like coloring wise, I never know what colors to pick and it's never consistent. So I'm trying to just go ahead and pick out the colors that I want them to have for skin tones and eye colors and hair color, and just have them set up as a reference, and this is going to be the reference page for that. And so yeah, I tried to pick out the same colors that I did for the last drawing of Kamau, like the one you guys saw me do last week, with that picture of the 4 of them like fighting or whatever. I just used the same colors that I used in that one. I'm just writing them down this time, so that way I just have a quick reference page to go back to whenever I feel like I want to color them again. So I'm hopefully, now that I have their colors picked out, it will prompt me to color them in a little bit more, even if they're more of like simple doodles or whatever, not really finished. I did sketch this out with a pencil, and so I feel like it was able for me to go ahead and color it. I don't know what it is, but whenever I sketch in pen, I'm like, I can't color these, which is like not true. I could color them if I wanted to, especially if I'm like sketching in like a black pen. Then it's like the line art's already done, right? Because you sketched it in black, so it's like, go ahead, color it in. But every time I do that, I'm like, every time I think about doing that, I'm like, no, that's illegal. You can't do that. That's illegal. I mean, obviously it's not illegal, but in my mind, it's like, you can't do that. That's against the rules. There are no rules, so it's like, just do it. I just have so much trouble pushing myself to do things that I feel like are wrong in my mind, even though there's like nothing wrong with them at all. So I'm just gonna try to get past that. That's why I went ahead and add like the hatching to his hair and like the hatching to his shirt, because it's like I'm trying to get my mind used to coloring over pen, and like it's okay, it's fine. Even if you can see the pen underneath, it's gonna be okay, friend. It's gonna be all right. And I have to talk to myself like I'm a baby, so that way I'm able to push myself to do things that I feel like it's like wrong to be doing, like it's illegal. You can't do that. I went ahead and kept the coloring for this super simple though, since it is a pretty small drawing. I mean, I guess it's not very large. My sketchbook is like a 10 by 10, and it doesn't even take up the whole length of the page. So this is like a little 6-inch drawing, so it's not very large. And I didn't put too much detail into like his eyes or anything. Like I just slapped random color on his eyes just because they're so small, you can't even really see the detail in them. And his eyes are just gonna be brown anyway. I haven't really picked if I want them to be like a darker brown or a lighter brown. Probably they're gonna be a darker brown, but that'll just be for whenever I draw like a bigger picture. And I said I wanted to have like a reference photo, but I'm not super worried about like eye color or whatever. So yeah, and I just made sure that I kept his hair. I put the blue in his hair like I did last time, just because I feel like that is like a really fun sort of character detail. It's just to have their hair have like the same like undertone as their signature color, and his shirt is also blue because like I said, that's his signature color. His signature color is like a sort of a blue, like on the darker blue side, not exactly navy, but this is sky blue currently that I'm using, and I feel like sky blue might be a little bit too light of a blue for him, so something a little bit closer to a navy without being a true navy. I want it to be saturated. I don't want it to be like a super desaturated dark blue. I want it to be a more saturated dark blue, but not too saturated. It's hard to describe. I have to like color pick something on like the computer or something, so that way, or my iPad, so that way I have something that's a little bit more solidified in my mind. I guess it's a little bit closer to a navy blue. I know I have a pen that I like to use, one of my high techs use, that is like a sort of navyish blue, but it's like not super dark, that I like to use when I draw Kamau specifically. And I said that one is probably his signature color. Really have a Copic marker that translates to that color just yet. I have to look into like the Copic, not the Copics that I have, but the Copics that they sell like on, I don't know why I was about to say on file. Doesn't, not what Copics they have on file, but whatever Copics they have for sale that are like a sort of blue that's more similar to that. I have a pretty big collection of Copics. I don't know how many exactly. I don't really count them. I think there's at least 100 of them because they're in like these rows of, let me see. So after doing some quick math, I have about 192 Copic markers, which is a lot. I'm not gonna lie, that is a lot of Copic markers. I did not buy them all at once. I didn't even buy close to them all at once. Sometimes I just go ahead, and if I'm going into the store, if I go physically into the store, I do end up like buying 5 or 6, which is why I don't buy Copics in store, and I try not to go to like Michael's to buy anything, just because, even like a sketchbook, because I do want to go check the Copic marker case, and I will go and buy a Copic even though I was not even supposed to be in there for a Copic. So I try to avoid going to the arts and crafts store as much as possible, because so as an artist I always waste money in there when I don't need things. And so I am lacking in some blues though. I'm lacking in blues, purples, greens, yellows, oranges, and like reds, which is like, that's like all the colors, friend. Yeah, that's true. I am not really super lacking in like the E group, which is like earth tones, but mostly that's like skin tone colors, and like it's browns and shit like that. I got a lot of those because I was like, I'm gonna be drawing lots of skin tones, so I should get like the whole range of like more skin tone type markers. And so I have most of that collection, and then I have all of the cool grays, and I have all of the warm grays, just because if you have like a set of grays, you can color whatever the hell you want. You don't really need color, you just need the value. And so, which is why I invested in getting those markers up front, pretty much. So yeah, I do need to get some more blues, especially that navy blue that I'm thinking of for Kamau, but not currently because I am a brokey, so I don't exactly have the money for it right now. Hopefully, eventually, I will have some more money to buy more Copic markers, but not exactly at this moment. But we can hold out hope. I know I said that I have like 192, and you guys might be like, I think that's enough, friend. And honestly, it probably is enough. If you are a person who wants to get into Copic markers, you do not need all of them. Even the ones that I have, I feel like I need more, but honestly, I tend to not even use a large majority of them. I have like my favorite colors in there. I always tend to gravitate towards those, and it's like, once you know which ones are your favorites, there's probably not really much reason for you to like branch out, unless you're like actively trying to like change up your color palettes. I do want to get better at actively changing up my color palettes, just because I feel like I personally am too repetitive. And it's like, if you like to just color with certain colors, that's cool, that's chill. I would never say anything against you for that. Just for me, I always feel like I need to be pushing myself to be doing things. I'm always like, you're in a rut and you're always so like stuck in your ways, and so that's why I feel like I need to branch out to colors. But I mean, don't feel necessarily that you have to do that sort of thing. Anyway, we're here at the end of the video, you guys. Sorry about my rambling. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I will go ahead and see you in the next one. Bye.